Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jeff in Ohio. This is generally, like I said in the other videos, about kind of pre-retirement, going into retirement. Some of the steps I'm taking. I'm not trying to hand out advice. It's just what I'm doing. Now, you got your typical things you worry about. You worry about your finances, your car being able to last into retirement, maintenance on your house, things like that. All those things, are genuine or are valid points of things you want to kind of get done before you get to retirement. One of the other ones that kind of slips by a lot of people is your presence on the internet and how that could affect you into retirement. Something that could blindside you, like say your credit card gets hacked, and I've heard it, or something like that, or your information gets used to buy a car or whatever, something like that. Now, what I got to thinking is that's an area that I really wasn't focused on, and I probably should at least a little bit. What could I possibly do to kind of protect myself from those things that I surely don't want happening when I retire? And now, what I've come to is this. I paid for a service. It's out of my pocket, so they're not sponsoring the video. It's called Incogni. You can find them on incogni.com. I'll put a link below for a discount if you're interested in it. What it does is, and this is brief, it gets a lot of your information off the internet, a lot of useless stuff. Lists you're on because you went to Walmart, lists you're on because you went wherever else. And, you kind of just don't think of that stuff going into retirement. So what I did, I paid for the service. And like I said, I attached the link below. You can get a discount if you want to do it. It kind of wipes that slate clean, gets all that garbage off the internet. It makes it harder for you to be gotten to, or somebody to, say, hack your bank card or something like that. So for right now, I just paid for the service. It looks to me like they're doing the job. My presence, I guess, information-wise on the internet is demeaning, or is dropping. Things are getting wiped out left and right. Now, how does that help me? Well, like I said, it prevents somebody from getting credit card information or whatever else. And at a point in time when I surely don't need it, not that there's a good time, but even more so when you're retired. So if you could give it a try, take a look at it, incogni.com, and it erases you from a lot of data brokers. So moving on from that now is still security in retirement. And like I said, there are things you're going to be, because of your age and whatever else you might be subject to. Somebody maybe push you down in the store or in the parking lot and take your stuff. So you kind of have to avoid those situations. Now, how do you get around them? Well, you could, carry a firearm, pepper spray, things like that. Those things would help you. And try to go to those places at times when the most people are there. Don't go in the middle of the night because you're wide awake at 1 o'clock in the morning. Don't be doing that, because you're probably going to get yourself in trouble eventually. Because your age, you're an easy target. I'm getting that way. So kind of let me know in the comments below, like, share, subscribe and all that, but let me know in the comments below anything walking into your retirement that you might think is relevant. Like I said, today was the computer and the internet, and trying to scrub yourself from the internet, at least enough to minimize that target on your head that scammers or whatever else might be wanting to use because of your age. Let me know in the comments what you think. And what else could you do going into retirement? Kind of protect yourself. There's the standard stuff, but let's look a little deeper than that. What else could you do besides that? Don't put things in your car. Don't put things visible in your car. Now, funny story is, I have a neighbor that can't stand my security cameras, does everything legal or illegal to try to get them taken down. Anyway, I watched yesterday kids or teenagers going up and down the street lifting door handles on cars. Hers was one of them. But, because I have such heartburn with her, she could just go ahead and get robbed if she hasn't already. And I did tell a bunch of other neighbors, to lock your cars and get your crap out of them. But her, no, she can just take the rob, or they lift the door handle and clean the cars out. It's not my problem, and she'll never get the video from me of them doing it. So those are down the things I'm trying to get to is, what can you do to secure yourself? What else can you do? Something out of the norm. Everybody, like I said, everybody has a standard things, but what can you do that's out of the norm and would be effective? I don't know. Like I said, for me, it was the Incogni. It was setting that up to try to, scrub all these things from the internet just to see if it would work. And apparently it's doing its job. So something you might want to consider. Like I said, link is below. If you want to subscribe, you could get up to 58% off if you use my link. So, knowing that, anything else you could come up with? I don't know. I'm Jeff in Ohio.